Today on Concrete Combat, 8 teams have entered, only 2 remain. And while both teams have more than proven their mettle, only one squad can claim the title of Ultimate Concrete Champion. Oh, and did I mention that there's $10,000 on the line?
10,000?
One last battle to weather.
They're really close right now.
One last hill to crest.
There's no clear-cut winner here.
One last sprint to the finish line. Let the battle for Concrete Champion begin. This is Concrete Combat. Welcome back one last time, Concrete fans. It's me, your host, Jada Page. Take a look around, folks. The Concrete Coliseum has been transformed, going from a work in progress to show-stopping, and today's season finale challenge is gonna bring it all home. It's time for someone to claim the title of Ultimate Concrete Champion. Who's gonna walk the walk and stroll their way into a nice $10,000 payday? Let's get it started. It is my esteemed privilege to introduce the last 2 standing teams for this season of Concrete Combat. Up first, Aldo Chavez and Julio Chavez.
Mi nombre es Julio César Chávez Pérez.
Mi nombre es Aldo Chávez Pérez. Pues el día de hoy estamos compitiendo más que nada por nuestros hijos. Pues para que miren ellos el trabajo que hace uno allá afuera y que es difícil y que le echen ganas a la escuela.
And next we have Matt Jordan and Adam Calderwood.
My name is Matt Jordan and I work for Grindline Skate Parks.
That's me. I'm sorry, man. Hey, look, once I'm on my second production, I'll be completely professional.
Welcome, finalists. Just one challenge stands between you, the title of Ultimate Concrete Champion, and $10,000. Well, I hope you're ready to move because you have your work cut out for you today. Take a look at the end of the turf here. You see that area that's missing some concrete? We're bookending season 2 with the return of another fan favorite challenge from season 1. It's another good old concrete pour. This is a race, so whoever can finish their stretch of sidewalk first will get extra points. But there's more to a good concrete job than speed. In addition to how quick you can be, you'll also be judged on technical proficiency and finished quality of your work. You have 4 hours to complete this challenge. Your time starts now.
Más que nada muchos nervios compitiendo con las personas que nos van a tocar porque mira que saben mucho de concreto.
Más nos dedicamos a reparar las cosas, ¿verdad? Así como cuando llueve o algo, o quebradas, todo eso, nos dedicamos más a eso, ¿verdad? Que a tirar así el cemento.
And for the last time this season, introducing our amazing judges, Jose Garcia, Dirk Tharp, and Mike Day.
All right, let's see who attacks what first.
I'm feeling pretty confident, especially after winning 2 challenges. Sidewalk shouldn't be too much trouble for us.
What are these?
Those are reinforcing bars.
Thus the name rebar. Rebar doesn't prevent a crack, it holds it together after it cracks.
Oh. Why are they different colors? Does that matter?
Great question. This is traditional. It's steel. One of its things to be concerned about is rust or oxidation, and that can cause decay in structures years to come.
Okay.
The latest advances, it's fiberglass.
Fiberglass.
You cannot rust that.
And it's building mattresses now, did you hear?
Well, you can sleep on it, you can put it in concrete.
I don't really know the deets about it. I just saw a TikTok about it. Anyways, Matt and Adam, they're going more traditional, and then Julio and Aldo, they're doing like more modern. Is that what you're saying?
It's a more modern choice of material.
Yeah.
Neither is right or wrong.
I use the fiberglass rebar all the time.
So they have to connect each one together so it doesn't move.
They tie it together in a grid, yes.
Watch them spin it. See that?
Oh.
They're using these wire loop ties. They got these little loops on each end. They bend them around the rebar.
Aldo and Julio said they never used that twister before.
A lot of guys,
Really?
a lot of guys
don't.
just tie it
They used
by
the
pliers.
pliers.
All your ties knocked down?
So what's the step-by-step process?
After the prep work has been done, the stone has been put down, the forms are up and ready to go, the rebar's getting tied. The next process really is to go through mixing the concrete from the bags, getting it put in place, We're gonna screed it, float it smooth, and once it sets up, they can start the finishing process. And then they could also start the overlay on each end to match the sidewalk we're doing here and get the complete sidewalk finished off.
Wow.
That's the basic idea of today.
Okay.
Make sure you're not in the way of the wheels. You have it on.
They are using what's called a mud mixer. This thing is going to allow them to use the wheels like a wheelbarrow and pour as they go. So it's a really neat innovation.
Time saving.
We got one for each crew to see how she runs.
Ooh, I like how he did that. He cut the middle of the bag,
There's
sat it.
there's actually a blade in the center. When you hit it, it cuts your bag in half.
What?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh,
It is a neat invention.
You know, fortunately, we have this machine and it's doing all the work for us. It's doing it at a steady speed that you can kind of set your clock to, so that helped.
El primer obstáculo que nosotros miramos fue con la mixteadora que tuvimos. Pues ella mixtea su tiempo, ¿verdad? Y nosotros queríamos echar más y más cemento para poder rellenar todo lo más pronto que se pudiera, pero pues teníamos que ir al tiempo de la máquina.
It could use more water. Honestly, they're pouring it so dry.
I know, but the auger only goes at one speed, right? It's not
Yes.
gonna necessarily go much faster.
So the water is being pumped into there. They can add more water if they want.
They can
could
get
add-
more water pumped in per bag by turning the little dial
Okay.
and make it a little bit looser.
When you have a dry concrete like that on this kind of type of sidewalk, it's really hard to do a good finish. Hopefully they can get it done the way they want it.
Both of these guys pouring this dry, there might not be any downtime. There might not be
No.
any downtime. They might go right back to start to finish.
no, it's very nerve-wracking.
How come they took that thing that was on the front off?
In this mixer, it was simulating a concrete chute, like in a real truck. How you see the chute flop down?
Yeah.
They're pouring it so dry, it can't get down the chute. That's why you saw them doing all this with their hand. So they realized it's slowing them down, so they just took it off. So they're doing what Matt and Adam are doing in the first place, which is shooting straight out of the machine, or placement straight from the machine. And that's a wise choice, especially if you're gonna do it so doggone dry.
What's Adam doing right now?
Floating it smooth. That's kind of the first phase after you screed it. And then once he gets that section all smooth, he's gonna move on to the next section and just let that sit before he starts finishing.
The technique you're asking specifically is filling voids. When you see low spots, you'll see him going like this, and then he works in fresh concrete. He's making it, you can't make it smooth till you fill the little dips. And what you're seeing Aldo and Julio do is very traditional method, where you screed just a little bit, you're making sure you use a shovel to keep making the fill rate correct, and then you go a little bit further. Now they're starting to play with their consistency, too wet, too dry, dialing the water up and down.
So all the judges agree that both teams started out with a little bit of a dry mix.
A
Yeah,
little bit of a dry mix, yeah.
they poured it so dry there, it's thirsty. So they're having to wet the surface. But the problem is, when you don't activate it enough with water in the beginning, you pay for it.
They've been using the water more often, and it makes it more easy to finish the concrete when you add a little bit of water on it. Kind of makes it weaker a little.
So I understand that putting water on the finish is not ideal. The mud we mixed was dry. With a little water, it slicks it up. If it's not slick, your broom finish is not going to look good.
30 minutes has elapsed. 30 minutes has gone by. All right, 30 minutes.
pasaron. 30 minutos pasaron.
About what I expected, I'd say, as far as how fast they'd be going. Especially never using these mud mixers. You don't know what to expect, really. We'll see what happens here in about another 15, 20 minutes.
We'll see.
Oh, they're done.
Well, it looks like they both have enough concrete mixed. Now it's just a matter of screeding it and then floating it off like we're seeing over here and getting the surface smoothed out.
Adam's using like a more square tool.
That's what we call a concrete edger.
Edger.
So he's rounding the edge of the sidewalk. So right now he's just doing the initial cut just to get it shaped, break it away from the board. He's gonna come back and do it again later.
Jose, what are you looking for when it comes to them edging?
The edging needs to be even with the concrete needs to be even with the top of the board. I mean, flush. If the edging is kind of going up and down, that's gonna be a no-no.
A no-no.
A no-no.
It's been 1 hour, folks. They freaked out for a second.
Una hora.
So the tape measure's coming out. What I think they might be doing is measuring out for where they're gonna joint the sidewalk, put their joints in. We'll see what they do here. Generally, when you have a sidewalk that's about 3.5 feet wide, we try to make the joints about as close to 3.5 feet. But kind of what I see, Matt and Adam are just a little bit further along than Julio and Aldo.
Pues el principal problema de todo fue para hacer los joines, dividir la banqueta, ¿verdad? Está allí, pídale ya.
This might be a pretty good time for Jada to go out and ask them, you know, where they're starting some of the finishing stuff, just how this stuff's feeling.
All right. Hi, Julio.
Hi.
How you doing? Doing good?
Yeah.
It's looking like we're starting some of the finishing processes. How's it going for you?
Oh, pues bien, mira, ahí la llevamos.
Okay, lovely. How's the consistency working out for you? Did it dry faster?
No, pues todavía ahí la llevamos, ¿no? Todo está bueno.
Oh, so we're not worried about anything. Confidence, we love a confident king. All right, you guys. What's up, Adam?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey. How's the consistency working out for you?
It was a little wet.
A little wet?
That was our fault.
Does that mean...
It's not our fault.
What does that mean for you, though? If it's a little
take
more
longer.
wet? It'll take longer to dry, you said?
Yep.
Does that worry you at all?
No.
No? Feeling good?
Yeah, I felt great because I'm just having a good time.
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate you. I mean, Aldo and Julio said that they're killing it. Like, everything's going according to plan.
Good.
So-
Good to know.
Yeah.
Oh, my back.
I honestly think that we'll see Julio and Aldo get caught up here shortly.
They just started running a joint.
Yeah, and they're getting their edging done. They gotta still float out the surface a little bit.
One of the things I like to do right away is getting the joint controls marked.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just gonna get harder to make the joiner clearer to the bottom. I mean,
You not lying.
It's not our specialty, joints and brooming, and something just that we just haven't had to spend a lot of time doing. We usually try to make it as smooth and seamless as possible for as far as possible.
So
We should be.
this is my mark here.
Yep. Yep.
And did we measure that? Is it right?
What's that?
We didn't. We went too far over with our marks. That's not 3.5 inches over.
You're right.
So measure that real quick, and then we can remark it.
We saw cut control joints into everything, opposed to using a jointer because it's for rideability.
Skateboard wheels don't roll over grooves very well. In the skate park world, we call that a kadunkadunk, and kadunkadunks are no good.
They see what they're doing? So you take your board, you get one end set exactly on the mark, put a little scribe, then you do it again on the other side.
oh,
See, that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
That's
down
optimal.
When you guys go in to review the work, are you going to be having your little measurement
Yeah,
tape?
I think that'll be part of it right there, just making sure the joints are all spaced evenly and they're all square to the board. And what I was taught years and years ago when you're doing joint spacing, no more than 1.5 times the width of the sidewalk is acceptable. When I'm watching them put the joints in, I see Julio and Aldo have measured their joint spacing about exactly the same as the width of the sidewalk. And over here with Matt and Adam, it looks like they've measured their joint spacing
Differently.
to maybe match the end piece they have to overlay and make it look even.
An hour and a half has elapsed, gentlemen. 1 hour and a half has gone by.
1 hora y media ha pasado.
I see that they're booming over here, batting at them already.
When you are a finisher, you need to know exactly the right time to broom it.
How do you know when it's the right time to broom?
I'll use this technique. I touch it, and if it comes a little bit on my finger, I can tell it's just about a time, but if it comes a lot on my finger, it's just no bueno.
Well, the broom texture is just for looks, right? Or is it for...
Well, it's a non-slip feature.
Yeah.
Oh, a non-slip
Yeah, if you do a
feature.
slick sidewalk, you can break your neck. City sidewalks, everybody, we have a broom texture to keep from falling when it gets cold or icy. Over here, it's looking great. Everybody's got these nice, defined, curved edges.
They're really close right now. There's no clear-cut winner here.
Hey, if we both quit now, it'll be almost too close to call. Not funny?
An hour and a half remaining, you guys. Hustle it up.
All right, here we
Vamos,
go.
vamos.
I don't know why, but like my heart's starting to pound a little bit.
How much coffee?
Oh, that's a good question.
Pues para nosotros, el obstáculo más grande que tuvimos, bueno, para mí fue hacer el que le llaman el picture frame y fue algo diferente.
Is they are going to picture frame. So you're going to see a perimeter that's smooth all the way around that box, all the way around that rectangle, and the center's going to be a perfect broom, and you're not going to see the broom touch the line of the picture frame.
It's like a clean finish.
Yes.
1 hour left, gentlemen. 1 hour left. So we have a little under an hour left and the teams are neck and neck. And it's looking like we're about to start concrete resurfacing. What does that mean?
Well, you see how there's a slab of existing concrete in that last rectangle. So in this, it's a real world scenario. You got one sidewalk that's too low and you decide you want to top it to be the same level as the rest of the concrete. So that's what they're doing. So they're going to do concrete repair by filling the rectangle all the way up to the top to be even with the other concrete, dead on even, and then finish it the exact same with picture frames and brooms so it looks the same texture as this.
Okay, so they're using a different bag. This bag is green. What's in this bag?
That is a product called sand mix. It's a very affordable material that you can use for all kinds of things. That material is designed for a minimum of ½ an inch, maximum of 2 inches in height.
Okay.
What he's pouring out now is called bonding agent. He's using that as a primer. So he's putting glue down to help the new stick to the old. And then he's going to use some of the same material with the mixed water, and they're going to mix it up with water that's got the latex in it. So it's kind of like you're adding glue to the cement.
Como reparar algo encima, ¿verdad? De la banqueta que ya está y hacer algo encima, pues ya es, nos sentíamos más confiados porque es algo que más hacemos nosotros.
That's about the right consistency. You'll see when he hits it with the trowel, it should be like butter. The secret to mixing concrete in a bucket with the paddle mixer is add almost all the water first thing in the bucket, then pour the powder, and it'll behave.
45 minutes left, you guys. 45 minutes left.
They've got a tight consistency, but you should see that cream right down as they start screeding it. We like how that's standing up and the progress they've made so quickly. They got just the right stiffness and it's still cream. See the moisture coming to the top? And what we're waiting to see over here. I know what they're doing. They're trying to blend
Yeah. You said
wetter
the first
with
one
dry.
came out dry, then
save
it
it
was
up.
wet, and they want to make it the same consistency.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be a user-friendly type of mix, though, right, Derek?
Oh, yeah.
That's
definitely.
why we're using it here, yeah.
Is this the, you mix it for 2 minutes and it should be like a good,
You won't have to go as long as we did with the concrete.
oh, okay. Because this is sand mix.
Now they're getting on it now. They're starting to get a shape.
I definitely don't like the slump on that.
Too dry.
Yeah, it's too dry.
Yeah. See, this material can be the bottom. You can use it for a shower basin where it's really, really dry. We're not making a shower.
Right.
The sand mix, you really don't want it wet. You want it to be dry. It really slicks up.
We just need a little bit. You want to help me just come across and do that? The sizzle is kind of working. We just got to barely jiggle it.
But I noticed that this guy start first on this close to the new concrete. This guy start from the other end.
Very good observation. I didn't even think about it. And they're using their steel trowels as a barrier to assure
They don't go over.
no chipping.
Is it not gonna make an impression on what they've already built? Or
They're
that's-
right up touching it. Like
Oh.
they're making a little metal form to protect the baby concrete.
Got it.
Pretty
The
smart.
baby concrete.
I like the way you say
Pretty
the baby
smart.
concrete.
Yeah, that was nice. Oh, look at them laughing and having a good
That's
time.
the first laugh out of this corner, folks.
They're probably talking about us, and we're like, oh, look at them. They're
I know. I know. Just probably talking
Look how
about
sweet
that.
they are, and they're talking smack.
30 minutes left, folks. 30 minutes. 30 minutos.
Here's another thing it's kind of challenge is to meet the two concretes together with the same elevation, not having a tripping hazard. We'll see how the two teams end up with that.
The tail end of it, I felt okay, but cautiously optimistic at best.
Sentíamos que no íbamos a terminar. Pensábamos que no íbamos a terminar.
More minutes. 10 minutos. 5 minutes left.
Pues sí, dije, a ver si acabamos, a ver si lo hacemos.
$10,000, I could do a lot with that.
Last minute, 60 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Come
Put
on
the tries down.
Good job, everybody. Way to hustle, you guys. For the last time of this season, the judges will now enter the field to review your work. Let's go, judges.
Let's see.
The last walk.
10,000.
Pues ya cuando terminó el tiempo y que nos dicen que soltemos todo, sentían los nervios.
So, Aldo, Julio, thank you again so much for your hard work. Judges, what are your thoughts?
Estábamos contentos y pues orgullosos del trabajo que hicimos.
Pues también volteamos a ver así para allá. Digo, no, pues también ellos han hecho un buen trabajo, pues a ver qué deciden los jueces.
So on the end, the one thing I notice, wide, wide, short, wide, everything on the inside short till we get to the bottom wide. Did you think about this transition here of going wide and wide?
To tell you the truth, we didn't
Didn't notice it?
No, we didn't know about that.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yo tengo una pregunta, se las voy a quisiera saber cuál fue el reto más difícil en este proyecto, porque mezclar el concreto, dos compañeros nada más, es un equipo muy chiquito, pero ¿cuál fue lo más difícil, se podría decir, de este proyecto?
Todo, ¿verdad? Porque pues es difícil tirar todo todo ese cemento entre dos personas, también es difícil. Y pues una cosa también es sacar las medidas para poner los joines. Pues también hacer el picture frame, también ese pues casi nunca lo habíamos hecho nosotros ese. Y se nos hizo, pues no se nos dificultó, ¿verdad? Pero se nos hizo un poco difícil.
Well, those are some great questions, judges. We're gonna move on to the next team. Again, thank you guys so much. This looks great. Let's head on down,
Thank you.
judges.
Good work, guys.
Walking down the line.
Sí estábamos de acuerdo en lo que ellos nos dijeron del orillero y estábamos de acuerdo con ellos.
And now we have Matt and Adam's work.
Hey, guys.
Hey. How you doing? I think they're intimidating. I was concerned, but then I also was like, why would I worry? Because ours will be better.
Hey guys, I got a question about the resurfacing part of this. When you mixed up the mix, you put it in quite dry, then you were really working it together with your hands. Was that strategy?
The first mix was a little dry. The second mix was a little wet. Mix them together, so it's all the same consistency. You don't have a wet spot down here or a dry spot over here. It's all the same.
I see those guys did shorter panels, like control joints. What's the difference making it longer rectangles?
So we took some measurements. A good rule is you go by odd numbers. So odd number of breaks, it looks more aesthetically pleasing to the eye.
You guys did fantastic. Thank you so much for coming here. This is the season finale, so we have to do our deliberation for the last time. So we're gonna step out. Let's go deliberate, judges.
Hard work.
After we got critiqued and it was all over, it was the first time I was able to look at what they did. What they did looked really good. I was definitely scared.
Pues ya nomás esperar a ver qué deciden los jueces.
We are at the final deliberation, you guys. Are we excited?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very.
All right, let's start off strong with Aldo and Julio. They worked so hard. What do you guys have to say?
Watching those guys place the concrete at that tight slump and work from one side to the other and screeding and keeping it all level as they go, I think that's a lot of skill. And then I loved when they did the recap, how they primed it, then they worked in a loose coat to ensure bond, and then they put the top on. So A+ all around in those efforts.
I want to mention something that I didn't like on this project. They started pouring the last piece. The picture frame didn't match with the rest of it. Kind of slippery thing. So I didn't like that from Julio and Aldo.
Okay. All right, well, moving on to our hustlers, Matt and Adam. What are our thoughts there?
For judging part of this on aesthetics, I really like how they did like a wider joint on their sidewalk, and it actually matched the concrete surface and length of that project down there.
Well, I'm gonna say it like it is. I don't like the way they did the hand joints. They're not clean. They have like a little holes.
I just want to remind everybody how wonderful both these teams are and what they had to get through to get here. They each survived 2 competitions, and they did just off-the-chart work. We're honored to have that level of skill here in our arena.
Throughout their whole journey, they were amazing. They pushed through this competition, but there can only be one ultimate concrete champion. Do you guys know who that is just yet?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, well then we have to bring the contestants back in. One last time, gentlemen, we are here to render judgment. A quick reminder of the judgment criteria. Speed. This was a race, after all. Technical proficiency. Did you achieve proper slump? How was your consolidating, screeding, and floating on the wet concrete? And aesthetics. Does the finished product look great? And how will it hold up over time? Judges, since this is the finale, do you have any final thoughts for our contestants?
I'd like to say to Aldo and Julio, I respect and love your decision to do the spacing of your joints to match the width of the sidewalk. And I know it was double the work because you had to put extra joints and a lot more picture framing.
Aldo y Julio, primero que antes que nada quiero felicitarlos, hicieron un buen trabajo. Hubo unas cuantas partitas que no estoy muy de acuerdo, pero la que sí no estoy nada de acuerdo es que en las uniones donde unieron las banquetas, está muy separado la parte del picture frame, como se le llama en inglés. Tiene una parte muy, se podría decir, tiene una parte donde se puede uno resbalar. Y esa parte pues es una de las que sí no me gustó a mí para nada. pero todo lo demás hicieron un excelente trabajo.
Now, Matt and Adam, what I'd like to say about yours is I do really like the way you spaced out your joints, incorporating the resurfacing project into the sidewalk. And aesthetically, I think that looks really good to me.
But Matt and Adam, one con I've got with that same decision is you chose to use the wide edgers for your grooves. And although aesthetically pleasing in a balance, that's really a slip hazard. There's just too wide of a strip. If a foot hits that in ice, they're not going to get onto the broom before they slip and fall.
Contestants, do you have any final thoughts before we reveal the ultimate concrete champion?
Pues nomás que fue una experiencia muy buena y es algo diferente de lo que hemos hecho, que lo que estamos impuestos a hacer y pues nos vamos con pues algo diferente y que nos sirve nos dio la idea de hacer otras cosas nuevas para nosotros.
Came here to have a good time, and we had a good time, and then we'll get through it and crack a cold beer.
Well, you guys have been great, absolutely. All of you have.
This is it. $10,000 hangs on this decision.
I gave it my best. There are some things I wish I did, it's too late now.
Sí, pues de todo lo que hicimos en este concurso nos sentimos muy orgullosos de todo el trabajo que hicimos. Estamos contentos.
Well, the winner of season 2 of Concrete Combat is Aldo and Julio.
Brincar casi, estar aquí brinque y arrancar a abrazar a mi tío. Una felicidad.
We're going to be the butt of a lot of jokes. I wish we could have brought home the trophy, but maybe they'll let us do it next year.
100,000 yards of shotcrete, and we can't finish the sidewalk.
Matt and Adam, look, I totally respect you guys. You guys do amazing work. Just really one critical flaw that we noticed you did, and that was you sprinkled quite a bit of water on the surface of the concrete as you was finishing. You worked that water into the surface, and ultimately that's going to weaken the surface and probably going to cause it to fail a lot sooner than it should. So that's basically how we came down with our final judgment.
Convertimos en lo que hacemos nosotros en un deporte y mira, aquí estamos, ganadores.
Gracias a Dios, sí.
Thanks for watching season 2 of Concrete Combat. We'll see you next time. Woo!
Sakrete time!